Other interesting business news, you have Dodge delaying the 4-door EV Charger till 2026, leaving dozens disappointed. Allegedly, it's probably only 5 people. Now, I'm only partially exaggerating. This is brought to us thanks to Jack Fitzgerald at Car and Driver. And I should do a visual disclaimer. You're about to see a Dodge product on screen, which hasn't looked good in years. Now, they say, quote, Dodge delays 4-door Charger Daytona EV to 2026 model year. The 4-door version of the electric muscle car was previously scheduled to arrive in the first half of 2025, but is now delayed until the second half of the year. Which, God, this looks... Oh, it almost looks like a bastardized Nissan and a bunch of other things hammered into place. Best left to AutoCAD and never to be produced in the real world. But there it is. With a silly new logo on front that I'm sure dozens will be really depressed that it's going to be delayed. Although, let's be honest, I can't help but think this is going to be scrapped entirely, most likely. Now, they say that, quote, Dodge is delaying the arrival of the 4-door till next year. They note that while Dodge quietly dropped the RT trim for the Daytona, the Scat Pack can now be ordered stock with the optional track package. They said consumers, I was going to say, this is a very generous article. They're implying that there are people excited about this and hoping. They say, quote, consumers excited for the arrival of the more practical 4-door version of the Dodge Charger Daytona. I'd stop that right there. The words Dodge Charger and practical, those words are in the same sentence. I can't help but find that hilarious because they're mostly toys. They're fun. They're moderately utilitarian in terms of it fit stuff inside, but I mean, this isn't the optimal, soccer car thing. It's for fun. Traditionally, they make loud noises, go fast. True masculinity and awesomeness in America, although Canadian made. Now, they say, quote, they'll have to wait a little while longer. The new announcement from Dodge confirms that the 4-door Charger EV will now arrive later half 2025 instead of originally planned. Here's another picture to disgust your eyes. Ugh. Now, they say the Charger Daytona sedan will now launch 2026 model, with a new timeline being up with the upcoming internal combustion Charger 6-pack. The news comes with less than a week after Dodge removed the RT trim from 2026 lineup due to increased uncertainty from U.S. tariff policies. That might be a variable, but that's not why they're canceling that crap. It's because no one was buying it. More than half of these things that are produced thus far, again, small sample size, they only just started production, but out of about 3,800 that are out there, less than half of them have sold. They're collecting copious amounts of dust at dealer parking lots. Now, they say that, quote, this leaves the 670 horsepower Scat Pack the only powertrain available for the Charger Daytona. Still, despite the lack of trim options, customers aren't left without choices. Not only will they have the choice of 4 or 2 doors, but Dodge is also offering a new track package for both styles. It comes with upgraded Brembo brakes. Might be the only thing that works on the vehicle. Featuring a pair of 6 piston calipers in the front and 4 pot units in the back, all painted red for that racy look. The track package also adds adaptive dampers, an onboard race recorder, performance seats, and gloss black spoiler, which, yeah, those onboard race recorders are pretty nice. I usually use the Garmin Catalyst when I'm at the track, but the recorders are pretty nice, and the analytics and feedback, especially have the built-in coach. That is pretty cool tech. Ironically, I don't like most tech in cars, but that's one of the few things I do appreciate. You see, the Dodge has also confirmed the addition of 2 new appearance options for 2026 model. Customers can now order racing stripes, officially called Frat Zog Dual Stripes. Sounds interesting, I guess. And there's an option for a gloss black hood. I was going to say, I'll hurt your eyes even more. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Again, if you're copiously inebriated, it might start to look like an attractive vehicle, I would guess. Or maybe that's just nostalgia and you slowly start to remember what the old one looks like. And you realize, oh yeah, for half the price, I can get a V8 stick shift Charger right now. Well, that's just me. They say that Dodge has also announced that the 2026 models are available to order now. By the time of publishing the story, there's currently no way to build out the 2026 Charger Daytona EV on the maker's website, which, I mean, I'll admit, the kid in me does, spend time in the Porsche configurator dreaming of someday getting that nice 911 with the stick shift and the signal green paint job. It looks perfect. But then I realized the paint job on that car costs more than the entirety of my Honda Civic Si. And I'm like, someday. So I know guys will spend time building cars online, the configurator. I don't know how many are actually going online to configure a Charger EV. Now, again, they do have the straight 6 turbocharged engine option. Now, anecdotally, those are also dog shit. Again, talking to some dealers in DFW or Texas, the failure rate of those are quite high. And even worse for the company, it's not just one thing failing, it's multiple things failing on that engine. So it's not going to be, if there ever is official recall, it's not like one thing that can be fixed. It's going to be a myriad of stuff. So again, I'm not surprised that they're canceling this. I don't think it's mostly due to the tariffs. I think it's the lack of support from the market. EVs in general, the adoption rate is decreasing. The overall sales are still going up. The adoption rate is decreasing. And the person who wants an EV, if you want a sports car EV, I suppose you get the Porsche Taycan. But if you want a muscle car that's not loud, can't do burnouts, and you can't take on most tracks, not just because of insurance policies, most tracks don't have EVs, but you can't charge enough between sessions, you're not getting this thing. You're not going to get a Charger EV. So I'm not too surprised they're going to delay this. And again, let me know in the comments. I think they're going to just scrap this idea completely. And I would not be surprised if the Charger, this generation Charger, they pull the plug on it in a year or two, maybe a year or two. Pun, of course, moderately intended. But of course, let me know in the comments your thoughts, because as always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking time to tune in today. Again, trying to get over 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.